Welcome to week 8, day 2 of our e-learning lessons. This is our final week of academics for the rest of this 4th grade school year. Text structure is compare and contrast that we're focused on for the week. How can I compare and contrast two items or events in a text? I will need to use text evidence, clues from the reading, and my own knowledge to compare and contrast. Compare means how are we trying to find things that are the same? Contrast, how are we trying to look for things that are different? The first part of your assignment that I'm asking you to look at is looking at a Venn diagram with same in the middle and different on the outsides. We have a NASCAR race car, and then we have a Craftsman truck racing truck. Both of them are number 18. Both of them have yellow. Both of them have 4 wheels, windshield. They both have the front and the back of the car, but there are some things that are different as well. I'm asking you to look closely and tell me 2 things that are the same, 2 things that are different about them. For example, I could say that the things that are the same is 4 wheels. Some things I can look at are different. Some things that could be different, and one is a car, one is a truck. I need you to come up with 2 other items that are different, 2 other items that are the same. You cannot use the same ones I just gave you as an example. You must come up with 2 completely different examples for the same and 2 completely new examples that are going to be for the different area. Tess and Ellie. Mom parked the car in the driveway. Tess and Ellie both clicked off their seat belts and leaped from the car like air squeezing out of a balloon. The school day was over. Tess flew through the front door and let it bang shut behind her, right in Ellie's face. "Sorry, Ellie," Tess yelled. Ellie opened the door and held it for Mom. Then Ellie stepped over Tess's backpack, which Tess had left on the floor. Ellie set her own backpack on the bench and then hung up her jacket. She placed her shoes in the basket under the bench. Tess, meanwhile, was in the middle of kicking off her shoes. One of them whizzed past Merlin's ear. "Meow!" Merlin screeched as he shot out of the room. We see our visual feature. We see Merlin going out of the room, shoes flying. Both girls headed into the bedroom that they shared. Ellie hung up her school clothes, using the special hangers their mom had made for them. Ellie's hangers had pictures of horses. She loved horses. Tess was into skateboarding, so all of her hangers had pictures of skateboards. However, most of Tess's hangers were lying on the floor. After changing into her favorite sweats, Ellie went into the kitchen to do her homework. She liked to get it done before dinner. She grabbed a snack, sat down, and patted her lap to Merlin jump up onto it. With the cat purring quietly, Ellie worked on her multiplication homework. She could hear her sister playing video games in the family room. After dinner, Tess got her homework out of her backpack and sat down at the kitchen table. She patted her lap and Merlin leaped up. Why don't you do homework? Why don't you do your homework after school, like Ellie?" Mom asked. Tess shrugged. "I need a break after school." Then she looked down at Merlin and chuckled. "Besides, if we did our homework at the same time, who would get Merlin?" Before you get ready to do your work on Tess and Ellie, on the comparing and contrasting, I'm going to show you a short video clip from YouTube, and I want you to pay attention about comparing and contrasting.
Contrasting. Today we are going to be comparing and contrasting Marlin and Dory from Disney's Pixar's Finding Nemo. We will be finding the similarities and differences between the 2 characters using keywords such as similar, similarity, both, also, and contrast words like difference, however, but. Let's start by making a list on a Venn diagram of all the things we know about Dory. So put your thinking caps on and think about all the things you know about Dory that are different from Marlin. This here is our Venn diagram. In one circle, it tells you all the things you know about Dory, and in the other circle, it tells you all the things you know about Marlin. And in the center, where they overlap, that's what they both have in common, also known as similarities. So now, let's focus on Dory's circle. So what do we know about Dory? Dory is a girl. She is blue. She's forgetful. She speaks whale. She is fearless. These are all characteristics of Dory that we can place in her circle just about her. So now let's focus on Marlin. What do we know about Marlin? Marlin is a boy. He is orange. He's a dad. He's fearful. He worries a lot. These are all characteristic traits that we would write in Marlin's circle. Last but not least, let's compare the similarities between the two characters. So, what do we know that they have that's in common? They're both brave. They are both fish. They're both caring. And of course, they're both looking for Nemo. But mostly, they would do anything for their friends. And don't forget, these are also known as the similarities between the two characters. So now let's look at our finished product of our Venn diagram, with the similarities and differences between Marlin and Dory. So now, let's create some sentences. First, we will compare the two. So blank and blank are similar because they both... So let's think. The sentence we can come up with could be something like this. Dory and Marlin are similar because they both are on an adventure to find Nemo. Now, let's create a contrasting sentence. What are the differences between Marlin and Dory? Let's use the same format as we previously did with the similar sentence to create a sentence with contrasting keywords. So now, this is the sentence we've created. Dory and Marlin are different because Marlin is an orange fish while Dory is a blue fish. Now, don't forget, I know this can be tricky, but just keep writing. And like Dory always says, just keep swimming.
With your assignments that you need to finish up on your own, you're going to do the 4 questions that go with Tess and Ellie. You need to write 3 things that Tess and Ellie have in common that are the same or similar. Write 3 differences between Tess and Ellie. Which of the girls do you think is more likely to help their mom with the chores? Explain how the picture, you're only looking at the picture, not the words from the story. Explain how the picture shows Tess and Ellie's similarities and differences. And then finally, your day 2 exit ticket. I would like for you to think about yourself and any other adult in the world. I want you to tell me 2 ways that you are the same with that person, 2 ways that you are different from that person. Once you finish up your exit ticket, you are done with day 2 work, and make sure you please take time to work on your iReady reading and your iReady math work. If you have questions, please reach out to your teachers. We're here to help you with those assignments. Thank you for participating in Week 8, Day 2 of your e-learning lessons.